Hey, fellow pastors, McKay here. And with so much in every text that could be the focus of the sermon, how can you know where to focus? It can be overwhelming, and it can be frustrating too, especially when you keep changing the focus all week. So here's how to zero in. Think of it as the first domino. In the PPGR framework, we start with the principle. That's the first domino. It is the fundamental truth already embedded in the organic DNA of the text. It simply asks, what is true? Starting with the principle removes friction because it takes the pressure off you to be creative. You simply uncover and state the truth that's embedded in the text. That text sets the agenda, not your creativity. And this becomes the foundation of the message, or think of it as we said, the domino. It's like a domino because once you have truth identified, then you're ready to diagnose the second P, which is the problem. It's how the flesh resists what is true. Then, when you've diagnosed the problem, you're ready to make the turn. The turn is not a main point. It is the point of every sermon because this is where we turn with the problem, with our need for grace. We turn with it to Jesus. This is the gospel movement in every sermon. And at this point, we get to reveal Jesus as our substitutionary hero, magnifying the cross and celebrating the grace and love of God that rescues, forgives, reconciles, and makes new. And it's this making new that we get to now describe in the final part of the message. It's where we answer the question, what practical change is now possible when someone lives by faith in union with Jesus as their justifier? So that, in view of the cross, application now in the message becomes distinctively grace-motivated and Spirit-empowered. Grace is preached not just as a fallback for failure, but as fuel for fruitfulness, not as obligation, but as opportunity, not primarily responsibility, but privilege, and not as duty as much as gift. So no moralism, no just trying harder. We're looking at a sermon that is deeply theological, distinctively redemptive, and practically helpful. All grace, all to God's glory. Every sermon. Here's how it works. When you clarify the principle, the sermon practically writes itself from the text because sermon prep is no longer a puzzle to figure out. You don't need to wonder where to focus. You don't need to come up with a new outline structure for every sermon. Just fill in the one that's already there. If you need help with this, I built the entire preaching system into a web app as a Socratic coach to guide you through the process. And I'd love for you to take it for a free test drive if you think it could help. By the way, Cross-Tethered Preaching is a 501c3 nonprofit ministry. Generous donors make it possible for us to offer scholarships and financial aid to under-resourced pastors around the world. So feel free to get more info at preach360.com. There's an application for scholarship there. We will not let cost stand in the way of helping every pastor in the world preach the fullness of God's grace in Jesus. So thanks for being with me. Again, my name is McKay, and I look forward to seeing you next time.